Hey guys, a little after here. So basically we're going to be taking you through a Morroblivion gameplay and let's play Morroblivion. A lot of people were requesting they want to see the actual footage of Morroblivion. From my last review, you could just see the actual footage of Morroblivion, just that little window there. And so people, I got a lot of requests and messages to actually, see a little bit more detail about Morroblivion. So for those of you who don't know what Morroblivion is, it's playing the game Morrowind through the Oblivion engine, and Morrowind is a game that came before Oblivion in the Elder Scrolls series, and Oblivion came before Skyrim. So a lot of people who have been playing Skyrim and just been introduced to the Elder Scrolls series have been looking for some different options, and Morroblivion is a fantastic option. So you basically need the Game of the Year edition of Morrowind and the Game of the Year edition of Oblivion, and the mod, which allows you to interface the two together. And you need a PC. You can probably, I've heard of some people using Morroblivion through the Xbox console, but it's probably not too easy. So I think it's just easier to get a half-decent PC, and you shouldn't require too much power considering that Oblivion was made in 2006. So you can still get a half-decent system and probably play Oblivion. So they also have something known as Skywind coming out, which is the same makers of Morroblivion, and basically that's playing Morrowind through the Skyrim engine. So right now it's still in very early phases. I believe it's still in the alpha phase as of the time of doing this video, and you can still play it, but it's still not fully complete in terms of having quests all loaded up and everything all refined. And it's still probably going to take a while. I think they're targeting for the end of this year at 2013 to have more of a playable beta, and even Morroblivion took a few years to really fully refine. So and Morroblivion is still not bug free. It still has bugs here and there. It still crashes here and there, but it's still pretty darn good. Like it's still it's a fantastic piece of work, and it's still you can still play it a massive majority of the quest and really have a good integrated and seamless experience playing Morroblivion. So looking out for Skyrim. Obviously, when it's really up to speed, I'll probably do a review on that on this channel. But I just wanted to comment on some of the things that I said on my original Morroblivion review. I got a lot of negative comments, which I didn't mean to offend people. Just have that was just my personal opinion. But the first thing I'd like to address is the issue of combat. So in that video, I said the Morrowind combat sucks, and some people actually, took that as me saying Morrowind actually sucks. Now, obviously, I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's actually a great game, which I say at the beginning part of the video. And the fact that I'm just doing a game review on it, shows the fact that I want to share, share that with others and the joy of playing that game. So I think it is a very good game, but no game is perfect. Every game has room for improvement, and even Skyrim itself, the combat could be a little bit better. When you compare it to RPGs like Kingdoms of Amalur and Demon Souls and Dragon's Dogma, there's always room for improvement. You can always go back to the original Morrowind or playing the overall if you like that type of combat. But a lot of people that I've talked to, that I know personally, they've been turned off by Morrowind just based on the combat style, because you have a lot of that swinging and missing, and something like Oblivion or Skyrim is something that they can more closely associate with. Now, the second thing is that people seem to get really offended on the fact that I like map markers, and that's a personal preference. Again, didn't mean to offend anybody, but I think some people took it a little too far and just just pointing out, this is what's wrong with the current game generation. They don't want to think. Now, I've been playing games for a very long time. I'm actually a game developer myself, and I've actually made a few games myself. And I think there's various levels of thought in different games I play. I want to be engaged. Some games I do want to think a lot. Some games I don't want to put that much thought into it. And some days that same game I actually want to be a little bit more intense about it. So with Morroblivion, you can always not use the map marker if you don't like them. I mean, if you want it more challenging, that's fine. You have the option. That's the nice thing. You have the option to play the way you want. And my personal perspective is that, hey, gaming for the most part in this point of my life is something that's casual and that is fun. Back in the day, it would be something that I'd want to put a lot of work into, but hey, I've got a full-time career and focus on that. And for the most part, if I want to put a lot of thought into something, I'll do work, something that makes me money and helps me get more ahead in life. And gaming is just something that's casual, very casual fun for me, and something that I just think is kind of cool. But I've been playing games for a long time, and there's various levels throughout my time spent playing games that I want to put a greater level of intensity into it. So the point is, you have the option. You can always put any game setting from hard to easy to medium, whatever various level. So anyways, Morroblivion, basically this version that I'm going to show you, for the most part, is pretty close to the default version. I've got some mods on there, not too many mods that are graphically oriented. The biggest thing is I added anti-aliasing and anthroposcopic filtering through my video card, which is best to do it through your video card rather than Oblivion itself, because sometimes you get problems when you use. I get problems when I do it through the actual application itself, and I can put it at the highest settings. But basically, anti-aliasing helps to smoothen out some of the edges in the graphics, and makes it look a little bit more, just a little bit more blended and a little bit more polished. So, anyways, enjoy Morroblivion, enjoy the review. I look forward to your positive comments.
Hey boys and girls, I'm playing Morroblivion, so just going through a gameplay session. Let's play Morroblivion, because a lot of people are actually asking that they want to see a playthrough of what Morroblivion looks like. So those who don't know what Morroblivion is, it's basically playing Morrowind through the Oblivion engine. So Morrowind came before Oblivion, and Oblivion came before Skyrim, and a lot of people have just been introduced to the Elder Scrolls games by playing Skyrim and want more, and have started to backtrack and look at some of the previous Elder Scrolls games like Morrowind. So I really like using Morroblivion here because it allows you to play the game in a little bit more up-to-date format. It's still a little bit dated, as it utilizes the Oblivion engine, which is not as up to date with Skyrim, but still, I still think Oblivion's, it's pretty good graphics considering that it was released in 2002. So I'm just gonna actually decide a mission that I'm going to do. I'm going to first get dressed and pick some armor. So I'm here actually in the Mages Guild in a place called Balmora. So I'm gonna actually probably choose a bunch of different armor that I have stored, and you can then see all the different types of armor that you can wear, which is kind of fun actually. Basically I use this closet in the Mages Guild as my sort of place to store some of my clothes here. So I'm gonna grab all this crap, and then I'm gonna put it back and store it. I just want to show you all the different type of armors, the combinations that we can do. And that's what I find half the fun in just playing some of the Elder Scrolls games, is just getting different armors and collecting them, and it's almost like playing with Barbies, It's just dressing up your doll and role-playing and imagine yourself in these different different missions and how you want to dress up. And so the cool thing is about this is that they're all unique armors. Well, not all of them. Some of them are imported from Oblivion, but you have armor that you've never seen before in Oblivion or Skyrim. And you can actually you can play it here in Morroblivion, which it's just cool because it's just something different here. Sorry, it's taking a while here. We're just grabbing a whole bunch of stuff, and what I'm probably going to do after I show you all the different types of armor that we can wear, I'll just probably load up a saved game. My saved game, so I don't have to put the stuff back in the closet. Okay, so there's my character. Right now I'm wearing what's called chitin armor. It's kind of interesting there. Let's go to, so that's basically what my guy's wearing. It's pretty different, you know. That's one thing I really appreciate about Morrowind, is that they're creative with all the different scenery and basically the different types of armors. It's not a cookie cutter medieval fantasy, although that's why I actually do like Oblivion. Some people actually don't like Oblivion because it's too generic. So anyways, I'm putting on this bone mold armor, and you might actually now see this armor in you know, the Dragonborn DLC, but it's kind of cool here to bust out this armor. This is actually an armor that the guards wear, but it's kind of, I think it's a kind of cool set. You see a lot of guys in Morrowind wearing this net leather caress armor as well. That's pretty common. Some standard stuff, some shirts. Some of them are straight out of Oblivion, some of them are unique. And chainmail. So a little bit different chainmail that we have. You don't necessarily see that in Oblivion. And so this is the I don't know how to pronounce it, if it's chitin or chitin, what I was wearing before. Chitin armor. Chitin armor. And a cool little funky little hat. You find this actually, this is like kind of like a wizard's hat. You find this early on in the game. So it's usually good with, I don't know why anyone would want to wear a hat like that. I think it looks pretty stupid. This kind of looks like a gas mask. Here, the chitin mask helm. And then we also have Dwemer armor. Some of that dwarvish armor. Take off the stupid mask. Well, let's match it with the hat. So that way I'm matching and I look nice. Actually, the hat goes well with this. This is the original sort of outfit that the hat goes well with. And then there's a bone mold armor. And this is cool. This is kind of the Imperial caress. Kind of different there. I guess just put on some pants. Yeah, like just that's pretty cool. That's not out of Oblivion. That's all unique. This one here is pretty freaking cool too. Helmet. Now this is straight out of Oblivion, the Iron Caress. Here's an interesting little helmet that is unique to Morrowind. That's unique to Morrowind, this leather armor here. Orc armor is pretty much the same here. Taken from Oblivion, and there's some steel armor here that's also the same as from Oblivion, but I don't know, I think it's that steel armor always looks cool, it's always a hit. Vardenfell iron armor, that's actually unique to Morrowind. Just on a side note, I'll show you something else kind of cool. That's kind of cool. So you have torches, and you also have like lanterns in Morrowind. So they also have a new different object set. So anyways, I'm going to just load my save game here, so I don't have to do all that stuff again. Okay, but I do want to change my clothes, so let's make this snappy. chitin boots. And let's put on some bone mold. Boots. Sure. Bracers. Greaves. I think I should have all that I need. Boom. 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 Cool. I'm ready to go. Okay, so let's go out to Balmora and explore the worlds. This little chest, you always get little supplies there that always get filled up there. It's kind of cool. Load screens, gotta love the load screens. Okay, so I am in the city of Balmora, which is basically the second biggest city. So you can see this guy here, I got the same type of armor as him. I actually stole it from a guard. That's just the fun of the Elder Scrolls, just doing stupid stuff like stealing armors that you're not supposed to have. So, the characters here, they talk when you walk up to them and stuff like that, just like Skyrim, but you notice here when I click on here, there's no actual voice acting. It just imports the text from Morrowind, because Morrowind itself doesn't have any voice acting. But it's okay. You just gotta read. And most time I found when I was playing Oblivion or Skyrim, even with the voice acting, I would just read through the stuff and then I'd just skip to the next dialogue because I could read faster than they could talk it out. But it's pretty unique landscape here. I don't know. It just reminds me of I don't know if you read the book or saw the movie called Dune. It just just this artwork style just reminds me of that. And the cool thing about Morrowind is just they're creative about it. Like, it's just not something you've really seen before. It's, Skyrim is a Viking land, and you have basically Oblivion, sort of a generic, it's just a generic sort of medieval fantasy. And here they just do weird stuff, like have these like floating, floating things in the sky, and these mushrooms and stuff like that. So they're creative about it, and I really like that aspect. And the land is pretty varied. Like it's not like Skyrim, which is all snow. And the nice thing here is also when you just want to travel out a city, you don't have to have load screens from each city. It's one big land. There's not load screens in between the cities here. But that does sometimes also makes it crash a lot. I mean, mind you, it's pretty stable. I've got like a ton of mods here, so I have a ton of different Oblivion mods that can make more Oblivion crash more. Sometimes it can crash every hour or every 45 minutes or so, but it's not a big deal. I mean, it's a fantastic piece of work here. So I'm getting a little bit of lag, and that lag is just from fraps. Okay, so let's select a mission. So you got the journal here out of Oblivion, which I like a hell lot better. Actually, let me just show you here. Basically, so you also got all these factions in Morrowind, which is really what the heck am I looking for? What am I looking for there? Let's show you here. Yeah, okay. So look at all these factions, and these are just the ones that I'm part on. Imperial Cults, Great House of Tavani, Thieves Guild, Blades, Fighters Guild. Like, there's tons of them. Like, there's a lot more than what they show here. Okay, so let's select a quest. Toasted. Alright, Vampire Hunter. I'm going to try to find this Vampire Hunter. He's an algorithm. So, basically, Morroblivion actually has a combination of using map markers, and in some cases some quests don't have map markers, so that's a pretty interesting balance. You don't have to use the map markers, of course. You know, I know my video where I did the Morroblivion review, people gave me a lot of heat about the fact that I like map markers. I mean, you know, if you don't like them, you just don't have to turn it on. I mean, you can still just not activate that quest specifically, and that map marker won't be on. So, yeah, as you can see, this pretty unique landscape here. You know, and for Oblivion, which is back in 2006, it's not bad. So you see all the stuff flying in the sky. I think some of them are bad guys, but that could also be a mod, part of a mod that I have called Natural Habitat. Okay, I'm going to just pop in the Thieves Guild here, just so you see what it's like. Sorry, not Thieves Guild, this is a Mages Guild. It's supposed to have a torch here. That's one thing I find just slightly annoying, though it's not a big deal, is that a lot of the areas are not brightly lit in Morroblivion because they're just importing the objects and design from Morrowind, and maybe the use of light is not as important. I loved Oblivion. I enjoyed it a lot more than Skyrim. I mean, not to say Skyrim was a bad game, but I'd say Oblivion is still my favorite, and Morrowind is second, and then Skyrim is third. Haven't played Daggerfall though, or Arena, but you know, it's just all preference. All right, cool. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's just find that Vampire Hunter guy. So let's use that map marker. Alright, supposing right ahead of me. Is that him? Looks like that's him. Stop by anytime you're in Aldrin. What can I do for you? Or with you. Okay, so you're the Vampire Hunter. That's nice. What do we do together? Let's see. Let me try to entice him a little bit. Maybe he doesn't like me enough. Get the same little persuasion thing. Okay, so pretty much where I started. So for those of you who don't know what I'm doing, kind of doesn't look like it's doing all that much here. But in Oblivion, where you actually have a bit of voiceovers when you do this, you're just trying to you're trying to persuade different users by, NPCs by joking with them or admiring them or saying something nice just to get them to like you, and they give you more information. And it's kind of lame here in Morroblivion because you don't have the voiceover that they respond to what you're saying, but you get the point. So, okay, so this guy has nothing, like no quest. What's up with that? What's up with that, huh? You got nothing to say here? Okay, screw it. Alright, so, you know what? It's probably because I'm not high enough level or something like that, or I haven't activated some other subsequent quests. There's something up with that. Ooh, look, there is a party. Let me join the party. What is going on? Don't we all look dashing? Alright, screw this. I'm just going to run around, kill some stuff so you can see some of the combat. And that's one of the things that, in my mind, makes Oblivion a little bit more fun, because Morrowind, the combat, I mean, it's an RPG combat, but like it's not action based. You know what I'm also going to do? I'm also going to switch over, wait 12 hours so we can go wander the land in the daytime, because that way you'll be able to see a little bit more. I prefer to usually do stuff during the day because it's just brighter. It's still kind of dark right now, though. So I got some other mods here that's kind of screwing up with the weather sometimes. I have this all-natural habitat mod, which does funky things here. Like it starts snowing all of a sudden. Okay, if somebody wants to tangle with me. Okay, so that wasn't too bad, but basically if this was Morrowind, you'd be swinging your sword a lot, and it wouldn't actually be connecting, and only a certain amount of times you'd actually hit your opponent. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of stupid. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say stupid. I don't like it, in my subjective opinion. I know people will get sensitive about that, and I don't mean to offend people, it's just my preference. I know some people want me to profess Morrowind to be a perfect game in some of my other videos, but every game has its flaws. There's no such thing as a perfect game, and I think the Elder Scrolls games come pretty close to it, but I'm not what you call a complete fanboy that I can't be critical and stuff. So these guys, these dinosaur-looking guys, they kind of look like, oh, that's fantastic, I've just contracted a disease. And there's a lot of different diseases you can contract, and in some ways, Morrowind is more complex, like in just the amount of stats and rules that you can engage in. The music that I've got here, most of it is all Oblivion. I actually took out the Morrowind music. I know a lot of people like the Morrowind music, but I don't. I kind of actually I like the Oblivion music the best. And to me, just having the Oblivion engine music, it makes me feel like I'm just playing a giant expansion pack of Oblivion, which basically, in a way, that's what Morroblivion is. It can be considered a massive expansion pack, bigger than the Shivering Isles and Knights of the Nine. And I guess I like to think of that way because I've had such a good time playing Oblivion, and I've played it for year over years and hundreds of hours, and I just don't want to stop playing it. I gotta heal here. But again, just personal preferences, right? I like Oblivion. Okay, I am not healing. Okay, no, yeah, I am. Just it's probably that disease that I've got now. It's not helping. Yeah, Morrowind definitely can be more challenging than some of the other Elder Scrolls games. Let me just save here, just in case I die. That'd be a good policy. What's that? Who wants to rumble? Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. Crazy ass crap that's kind of cool with Morrowind. Like there's that floating bug, whatever they call them, netches or something, or it's kind of neat, you know, like just the ideas behind them. I mean, you see some of this stuff now in the Dragonborn DLC, but you know, Morroblivion's been out for a couple of years, and I just think it's just a fantastic piece of work of creativity of taking the engine of Oblivion, and now you know they're working on Skywind, which is basically taking Morrowind and playing with the Skyrim engine. Although it's going to take a while until that's really fully refined. Morroblivion, it's by the same guys who made Morroblivion. It took a couple of years to really just sort of iron it out until it was really fully playable. And it still has bugs, no doubt, but it's playable. Like, you can play a good chunk of the quests and have a pretty good experience, you know, and put you know, a lot of hours behind the game. So, but Skywind, it's going to take a while till it's refined, and personally, I am okay with the Oblivion graphics. Like, it's still a little dated, but it's still better than some other games out there today, so I personally don't mind. Okay, so let me follow this road here. See, it's kind of does funky stuff with that. Like, it just got dark all of a sudden, and that has to do with this mod that I have that's kind of not compatible with Morroblivion. Like when it snows, like it doesn't snow in the middle of the desert here in Morrowind, but it seems to do that. I'm just wandering aimlessly here. Maybe I can find a cave and scrap it out. Ooh, greenery. Okay, who's trying to scrap? Whoa! Caught me by surprise, Mr. Rat. Oh no, a rat. I don't know what I will ever do. Ooh, Mr. Rat. You scared me. So some of the combat music is not the default Oblivion music. You might notice that stuff I changed, because that's one thing. I don't care too much for the default combat music for Oblivion. And that's just the fun part of just modding, having a PC game, gaming system, and just modding. Like, you can do so much with the Elder Scrolls games. Just it's just an endless game pretty much with all the user created content. Okay, I'm just gonna try to find a cave here so I can do some scrapping. Ah, these damn rats. Why do you even bother? Why do you even bother trying to fight me? So you see a bit of the landscape here. It's kind of unique, kind of cool. Alright, you know what? I'm going to abort this, and I'm going to do a pretty hard quest, which will probably end up getting killed. This quest, at my level at least, is currently kind of tough. But I'm going to give it a go. So this guy's got the full chitin armor, as you can see. Let me just repair some of my armor. Speaking of armor, I'll make sure that fully cleaned up here. Alright, boss, let's go. Fighting already? Alright, let me just save it here. You know what? I'm not going to get distracted by that. Just doing my 2 cents of paralyzing the bad guy. Okay, that is not good. That's great. All I need is another disease. Okay, I need to get some health potions going here. Good, he died. Who the heck is that? Oh, this guy. cheap moves here. I basically just keep on paralyzing these guys. Need some more health here. And it's a magic. Okay, I don't have a magic potion. It's not good. Okay, these guys are tough, man. Holy crap, I am low on health. Okay, is this guy dead already? How useless is he? What the hell is hitting me? There's something above me. Okay, that's obviously a bug. I just got hit in the head through the ceiling above me. Let's continue. I will ignore that silly bug where I'm getting hit in the head through the ceiling. Papa. Standard cheap move, just paralyzing guys. Gonna have to do it though, these guys are kinda tough. Alright, who wants some of this? You want a piece of me? It's one of those dinosaur guys that are floating through the ceiling. Oh, I do not want to fight you. Boom. Come to Papa. No, stay out of my way. Ghost assistant. Okay, that ghost is not helping me. Bad assistant. Paralysis spell. Don't leave home without it. Okay, fuck this. Where's this pterodactyl guy? It's in the ceiling. So that's one example of what I'm talking about with bugs. There's still some quirky little bugs here with Morroblivion. But, you know, it's not too bad. It's just here and there. I mean, it's a massive body of work, so it's kind of expected. And they took years to build this, so I mean, they did this in different stages, so I'm okay with it. I mean, default Oblivion is pretty buggy as it is. Alright. Who is next? heck is that? That is some next crap. That is a Daedroth with legs. I have not seen that before. Oh! Oh! You are nasty. You are a very nasty Daedroth, and you need to be spanked. Oh, 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 I'm dead. Alright, I think that's it for me, boys and girls. I'm going to sign out. Hope you enjoyed this session of Morroblivion. Get Oblivion, get Morrowind, get the Morroblivion mod, download it. Just go to this link if you want to buy Oblivion and Morrowind, and yeah, you'll have some fun. Okay, see ya. Ah!